Well, good evening. Ethan back for a beer review again tonight, and I'm going to be reviewing the number one best-selling beer in the United States, Bud Light. I got this 32-ounce bottle. I believe it's a 32, or is it a 40? I just got it, actually, I have the receipt for 32 ounce for $2.59, so pretty good price. I didn't want a whole six-pack, but I felt like some Bud Light. As I mentioned, this is the number one selling beer in the United States. It gets a 46, an awful on Beer Advocate. It was introduced in 1982 as Budweiser Light, Budweiser's flagship light beer with 4.2, and still is, percent ABV, and 110 calories, still is, per 12-ounce serving. From 1993 to 1998, Bud Light aired 30-second commercials featuring Rob and Laura from the CBS series The Dick Van Dyke Show. I remember that show. It used to come on TV Land. And I'm reading America's Most Popular Beer is Bud Light by a couple $1 billion. Yes, Bud Light's U.S. sales alone would lodge it firmly within the Fortune 500. So that's incredible. It's the most popular beer in the United States. I've had it many times before. I like it. I don't usually get a lot of light beers. They're a little too light for me, but for what they are, they're pretty good. I just went walking on some trails, so I just felt like something, light and refreshing. And BudLight.com says, "We carefully brew our beer to be perfect for everywhere that's fun, because where there's fun, there's a Bud Light there. Every bottle, can, and draft of Bud Light uses 4 simple, high-quality ingredients." So no corn. It's or corn syrup. I think it's water, barley, malt, and yeast. Water, barley, malt, yeast, I believe. Always brewed using the choicest hops, best barley, malt, and rice. Anheuser-Busch Incorporated. One of the biggest beer brands, if not the biggest beer brand in the United States. This can is best before June 5th, 2021, so really fresh. Let's go ahead and get into it. Already had a little hiss when I took the cap off. Let's get a pour in the Pabst Blue Ribbon glass. All right. So 110 calories per 12 ounce. It's a really light golden appearance. Very, very clear, see-through, ascending bubbles. Very minimal head, not even a finger. Very light. Nice appearance. What was I saying? Yeah, 110 calories per 12 ounce. That's actually not too light. Comparatively speaking, compared to other light beers. I know that's more than Miller and Coors Light. So it is a slightly heavier bodied light beer, you could say. Maybe that's why people like it better and why it's the most popular beer in the U.S. But a 46 on Beer Advocate, an awful, that's no surprise. They don't like light beers usually, and they especially don't like American adjunct lagers. It's been the most popular beer in the U.S. for a number of years now. As far as I know. Let's go ahead and get a taste since that head died down quick. Crisp, clean, refreshing. Watery, but has a flavor. Light to medium body. Extremely drinkable. Drinkability is just magnificent. Such a drinkable product. A lot of people I know in this area, this is their go-to beer. This is all they buy. I see people, I used to work at a grocery store for 5.5 years. And every Saturday, it was near a lake, right? Kind of. And every Saturday, people would just walk out the door with cases and cases of this. Every Saturday and Sunday. Just Bud Light. That's all people would get. Going to the lake, floating on the boat, or going kayaking or canoeing or swimming, or just sitting out by the lake. That's what people would do. They'd get Bud Light. In the summer, they'd get, sandwiches from the deli where I worked and fried chicken, and then get a case of, like a 24-pack of Bud Light. So I believe it, that it's the most popular beer in the U.S. I've seen the proof. Yeah, 110 calories. I think Miller and Coors both have like 95 and 100 respectively. Let's see if I can look that up. So this one is a little more full-bodied, quote-unquote, for a light beer. Coors Light is 102 calories. So, and then I believe Miller Lite, let's see if we can look that up. Miller Lite, I think it's less. A hundred. I think it's 100 flat. No, Miller Lite is 96 calories per 12 ounce. Milwaukee's Best is 98. Natural Light's 95. Bud Light 110. So, what was that one I was looking at? So this has more than Natural Light. I actually had a Natural Light the other day. So, yeah, maybe that's why people like it a lot, because it's a little more calories for a light beer, but still on the mouthfeel, it's very light. It's crisp. It's highly carbonated. It's not smooth with little carbonation like a Miller product. I've noticed that Miller High Life and Miller Lite are very not as carbonated to me. I think I've had other people, I've watched other people who say the same, so it's not just me. But this Bud Light and Budweiser and Busch Light, well, I don't think I've ever had Busch Light, but Bud Ice, Busch Ice, they're all very carbonated, and this is very carbonated. It almost tastes like seltzer water, but it's good. I mean, I can see where you want to drink this in the hot weather, going on the boat or whatever. Here it is in the middle of January, but I don't know. I felt like having a Bud Light, I don't do a lot of planning with my beer reviews. I don't know. That's probably obvious, but I just kind of get what I like, what looks good. I'll just go to the bottle shops, the liquor stores, or the gas station. I'll kind of browse around and kind of just get what looks good to me. I don't have any like plan or outline I follow, or any sort of now I'm doing this kind and now I'm doing this kind. It's just kind of spur of the moment. I just get what looks good. I get what either I've heard other people say they really like, or something that looks intriguing to me. But doing reviews definitely has helped me kind of branch out and try new stuff, stuff that I normally would not have gotten had I not started doing beer reviews. So, I started out drinking like Miller High Life. That's like my favorite beer almost. Probably my favorite macro. It is my favorite macro. It's a great price, and it's always good to me, bottle or can. And I just kind of, it started from there. Miller High Life to Bud Ice, and then Bud Ice to Heineken, Heineken to Stella, Stella to ales, ales to stouts and porters. It just kind of evolved from there, and here we are, I guess. And I'm kind of going back to my roots with Bud Light. I got some pepper jack cheese with a little chunk of it there. I don't know if you can see it. A little snack to go with it. I love cheese. I especially love pepper jack. A little bit of spice goes well with a light beer like this. This is a great beer to drink to pair with hot foods like wings, watching football, buffalo wings, chips and salsa, dips, crackers, cheeses, tacos, anything. This is a great beer for pairing with those foods. I wouldn't want to pair something like a maple mackinaw with food, because it's too overwhelming and overpowering for the food, But this is perfect. There's a reason why people, go to sports bars and watch the fight or whatever and get a pitcher of Bud Light with their buddies. That's just what people do. It's so light, it just kind of slides down the throat. Again, very carbonated. Said that several times. But it's just a good beer. It's light, but it is what it is. It's just kind of mundane and simple. It's not anything special. For a score, I'd give this we'll go 89 to 90. It's a great light beer. I mean, it's not surprising to me why this is the most popular beer in the U.S. Because you don't really have to think about it when you drink it. And I think people just want to, also the light aspect, people want to drink beer and not pack on the pounds. So that's part of its appeal, probably most of its appeal. And it's just light and drinkable, and people can just, pound them away, so to speak, watching football or out on the lake. So I see why it's so popular. I'll go 89.5 out of 100. I'll be kind of contrary. It's just almost an A. It's just a really good light beer. But it's just not quite there, for a beer lover like myself. I'd get this again. It's a great beer. If it's hot outside, I'm going to get this. But I would probably get more likely to get Miller High Life than this. Or Bud Ice. Or Pabst Blue Ribbon. Or Coors Banquet. All really great beers. I'd be more likely to get those than this, but for a light beer, this is really good. 89.5 out of 100, a solid B+. So close to an A-, but you could argue for that. Good beer, and it goes well with the cheese. It's a nice first beer to have to start the night. You wouldn't want to drink like a stout and then go drink a Bud Light. You'd probably want to go Bud Light first, and then kind of go up from there. This is like your warm up. Like when you work out, you have like your first rep is like the lightest one. That's what this is. This is your warm up rep, and then throughout the night or whatever, you go up from there. Because if you drink this after a heavier beer, it would just have no flavor whatsoever. I've done that before, and it just makes light beers taste like water. So start out drinking your light beers, and you'll kind of appreciate them a little more. That's how they're meant to be drank. I don't know which is right. But yeah, 89.5 out of 100. I'm enjoying it. Video went on too long. I'm just kind of talking. I kind of forget. Time goes by so quick. Cheers. Thank you for watching.